Whether you own a home or you're thinking about buying or selling, well, I know there's been a lot of questions about what exactly is happening in the state of the real estate market today. What's behind the scenes on pricing? And should we even buy a home? Are we going to lose the value on our home today? So I want to spend some time bringing you the most recent data to help you make those conclusions. And this is Callie's Corner. So let's first talk about the trends that we're seeing on what's happening with the economic pressures, that being the inventory and interest rates and how it's impacting things today. And I'd say over the last month, we've definitely seen a shift in the amount of offers being received, a shift in the amount of offers over the asking price, and a shift in the amount of sales that are happening on a monthly basis. They've all been down, while inventory and interest rates have been on the incline. And we've simply started to see the market adjust to that what it was before the pandemic. We've gone from having less than 1 month supply of inventory to that of just under 2 months supply of inventory. And if you've been following me, you'll know that we are still in a strong seller's market. Until we reach about 6 months supply of inventory, we won't even be in a balanced or buyer's market. So, still a strong seller's market, but with more opportunities for buyers. The perfect storm. But today I really want to focus on the supply and demand, which is the driving force in real estate. Over the past few weeks, we've seen certainly a shift in the market, and rising interest rates have certainly started to moderate the market. What started all of this was the Fed's reaction to inflation, which, of course, is the enemy to interest rates. We've seen the rates go from under 3%, then in the 3s, and in June we saw them spike over 6%. But what happened in the last couple of weeks? We've actually seen them come back down to about 5.3%, which are still good rates. But without a doubt, they are affecting the affordability of homes for so many people. So what we have seen is not only a rise in the interest rates, but a rise in the inventory as a response. So this here is a look at the active listings and how they have increased in the country over the past 4 months. We can see inventory has continued to accumulate in the market as the frenzy in the market has started to squelch from those rising interest rates. Now, with this visual, what we can say about the inventory also is that it has started to come in at a faster pace than what we have seen in the last year. Not by a tremendous amount, but still coming in faster and accumulating. The blue here is going to represent the amount of inventory hitting the market month to month in 2022 versus that of 2021. And as you can see, it started to kick back up in April. So that gives you a perspective as a buyer, more inventory. But let's shift our attention to the question that so many people have right now, and that is, should I buy a home right now or wait? Well, no doubt has the rise in interest rates impacted the affordability, but that's not the biggest issue, which is no one wants to buy something that in 6 or 12 months down the road is going to be worth less. But let's see what the experts are actually saying about that and deceleration, and give you the why behind price appreciation. That way you can help make some more grounded decisions. Now, starting here with the home price forecast for 2022, which as you can see on average is about 8.5% residential appreciation. Many are saying prices are going to fall, price reductions are going to happen, but can you have a price reduction and still have appreciation? How does that happen? Well, yes, you can. Pricing has gone up over the last couple of years, and a lot of sellers are really pricing their homes at the higher end. And now they're starting to say, you know what? We have it overpriced right now and are having to come off of that. But the net of what the forecasters are seeing for this year is still going to be price appreciation. Now again, we need to understand the why on this, and I'm sure you've probably seen those Dave Ramsey videos out there on how this market is different. And I want to share with you a quick quote that he had and a couple of visuals that do a good job of explaining why the experts are forecasting price appreciation. So Ramsey says right here, okay, I know I'm kind of hiding the screen here, but his quote is, he says, the root issue of what drives house prices almost always is supply and demand. Now, interest rates affect that. When interest rates go up, guess what? Fewer buyers. The demand goes down, thus prices are going to soften and not be as cray-cray as they have been. And that's what we're seeing right now. And that's right. Prices will always be influenced by supply and demand. It's a very simple theory. And the reality is, as interest rates go up, the demand goes down and moderates the market. Over the last couple of years, we've been saying, you know what? We need this frenzy to slow the heck down and appreciation to slow the heck down because it just cannot be sustainable. And I know I've heard it from so many of you. You know what I'm talking about. And that's what we are seeing. It's a good thing. Let's break down real quick supply and demand with these two quick visuals. The first one is this on the single family housing units brought to the market from back in the 70s, which is here in the blue, to the housing crisis in 2008. Builders, I'm going to let you take a look at this here behind me, but the builders were heavily hit because they speculated lots of builds with those inflated demands from the qualifications in the mortgage market. But that was not sustainable. When anyone could qualify for a mortgage, you could breathe, you had a social security number, you're good to go. Here's a home, right? It could not sustain itself. We became oversupplied, but for the past 14 years, we have been undersupplied, below the 50-year average. Now this year, we will surpass that as builders have recognized the demand, but still very undersupplied, as you can see. And that's the supply side, which contributed to the frenzy. Now the second side to all of this is the demand, which has been driven by the millennials. Yes, you heard me say it. It's the millennial year. 81% of buyers last year were millennials. They are an overwhelming population of buyers that we have in the market right now. Believe it or not, their generation is just a little bit smaller than that of the generation of the baby boomers. So put it into perspective. The low supply over here that we had and the tremendous amount of demand driven by the millennials. So why will homes continue to appreciate? It's because of supply and demand. Now, as you choose whether or not to buy a home right now, I hope this puts things into perspective to help you make that healthy decision. But I know a lot of people out there are saying, well, heck, it's just costing so much to buy a home, and that's the truth. So, should you still buy a house? Now, to help answer that question, let's take a look at what the experts are saying about home price performance over the next 5 years. Now, they are predicting about 9.3 on average, or like we said earlier, 8.5, some are saying on average, as we discussed, for home appreciation this year. And going forward, a much more normal rate of appreciation over the next several years. So using this number on a home purchased at the beginning of the year at $390,000, well, you can see, based upon these projections, would be worth $102,787,000 more by 2027. Guys, we here at Ritchie Realty will continually keep you abreast of what's happening out there in the trenches of real estate, which should be one of your biggest assets in life, and we want you to make sure that that's the case going forward. Make sure to follow us here on YouTube to get more topics, because we want you to become the very best of the best when it comes to buying, selling, or investing. Until next time, this is Callie Ritchie